how do you break down the sport? Do you look at it in terms of there's a physical component, there's a technical component, and then there's a mental component as well? And is there any other factor that you throw in there? And how do you then balance those three in your preparation, in your training, and then we actually get out there and you're standing on top of the wall?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, like, we all started snowboarding for the love of it and for the sole idea of it's kind of an art for most of us and a way of self-expression. But I think in competing is super fun, and it's a double-edged sword because it is dangerous, it is stressful at times, but it's very rewarding. I think for these high-level tricks that really require a lot of focus, yeah, it's a total blend of physical and mental. And for me, like, there's no difference between the body and the mind. The body is the mind, and your physical is always going to be feeding your mental game. You're never going to go out there and try these big tricks if your body's all beat up, because that's going to be playing into your mindset of like this, part of my body's in tons of pain. I don't feel good. It's all about feeling good and feeling confident and feeling, having that fine balance of, feeling powerful and also feeling relaxed and feeling like you can really kind of breathe deep and stay grounded before trying these big tricks. If you're too jacked up, you're not going to be focused. You're not going to be rooted. You might, do some crazy stuff out of impulse. And then obviously if you're not powerful enough and you're not aggressive enough, then you may not be pulling the trigger at the right time. You might be just kind of dragging your feet. So yeah, it's a total blend, but again, the body is the mind, and there's no difference between the two, in my opinion.
You've been called perpetually calm and collected, and I'm hoping for a second you could kind of talk me through an evolution of one run on the downhill. You're standing there, you're on top of the wall, you're at the top of it, and it's go time. What's going through the mind, and then as you are into the run now, you've got 4 or 5 opportunities to really send it. What's going through the mind as you launch off the top, and then you get into those first, second, third, fourth, fifth attempts?
Man, it's always changing. Like this season, even I remember the first contest of the year compared to the last one I did at the X Games, and just seeing how my approach has evolved and how much I've learned just through 5 contests. I think we've done 4 or 5 events. It's crazy, but I think the cool thing about halfpipe snowboarding is you have to be fully, and not just halfpipe, but snowboarding in general, is you have to be fully present. If you're thinking too much about the third hit in the pipe, you're going to mess up on your first hit or your second hit. And every hit requires full presence, full stillness, and full attention. That's what's cool about halfpipe, is if you mess up the first hit, it kind of ruins the rhythm of your whole run, and it's really hard to correct course. So it's these building blocks, but when I'm up there about to drop in, it's hard to explain exactly what's going through my mind. It's almost like you enter this kind of state of no mind and flow state,